Hello friends, so today we are going to see the next topic under heat transfer mechanism. So today's topic is heat engine, that we are going to see what is exactly heat engine and how it works and its working principle. That everything we are going to see today. So dear students, here we know that we are talking about heat engine. So we all know very well that if we rub the hands, so due to friction, heat energy is produced. So that means if you do a mechanical work, then that mechanical work is fully converted into heat. But converse is not true. That means 100% of heat energy cannot be converted into the work. That is most important thing. And today we are talking about heat engine. So heat engine converts heat energy into work. So that is basic concept of heat engine. So see, now we know it is easy to produce heat energy by doing mechanical work, but practically whole mechanical work done against friction is transferred into heat. As I said, that if we rub the hands, due to friction, whatever work we do, it is transferred into heat. But there is the engine which converts the heat energy into mechanical work. Now what is exactly heat engine? See, it is a device that transforms heat partly into work or mechanical energy is called as heat engine. So that is what concept I said, that heat energy is converted into work, that is basically heat engine, but it is mechanical energy and work. So here, for doing this, the most important thing in heat engine is working substance. That means if this is a system, to this system input is heat energy and output is, say, work done. And here this is the input is heat energy. But now whenever heat energy is converted into work, we need some working substance. And what is working substance? It is the quantity of matter inside the heat engine. So inside this heat engine, there it is a matter. Undergoes inflow and outflow of heat. That means heat is taken by working substance, and then that working substance gives heat energy for doing the work. So that is called as a working substance. So we know that in steam engine, steam, that is water, acts as a working substance. So heat energy is provided to water, then it converts into vapors, it expands and creates a pressure, and that pressure is actually responsible for doing a mechanical work. So that is a concept. So here outflow of it, that is expansion and compression, and sometimes change of phases also. So now here every heat engine will, first thing, see here it is, a diagram is shown. Here it is a hot reservoir where temperature is higher. So heat energy is taken from the hot reservoir. So here it is, every heat engine will be first absorb heat from the reservoir of high temperature. It is a source of heat energy. Then convert some of the heat into mechanical work. So remember, in this case, no 100% heat taken in. Here we see that heat energy is Q1 is converted into work. Remember, this is very important thing. So some of the heat energy taken from hot reservoir is converted into mechanical work, and some of the heat energy goes to cold reservoir which is at lower temperature T2. So here heat taken is Q1 from hot reservoir. So part of the energy converted into work, see here it is input heat energy is Q1 and here it is discarded or the remaining heat to reservoir at lower temperature is Q2. So actually work is converted by of the quantity of Q1 minus Q2. So W is equal to Q1 minus Q2. This is a basic working concept of every heat engine. Now the net heat absorbed, as we saw, see heat absorbed by the engine is Q1, heat given to cold reservoir is Q2 and work done is equal to Q1 minus Q2. So that is the net heat absorbed per cycle is Q is equal to Q1 minus Q2. The useful output of the engine is now net work done. So W is the work done by heat engine. That means this part of Q1 minus Q2 amount of heat is converted into work. So from first law of thermodynamics, we know that W is equal to Q. That means the heat energy is converted into work done. So therefore efficiency, when we talk about, that means input heat energy is taken Q1, how much of that energy is converted into work, that is basically the efficiency. So thermal efficiency of heat engine is now, see, efficiency eta is equal to the total work done by the engine divided by the amount of heat energy absorbed by the heat engine, or N is equal to 1 minus Q2 upon Q1, because of W is equal to, we know that is Q1 minus Q2. By putting that value, we get efficiency eta is equal to 1 minus Q2 upon Q1. Now let us consider the types of heat engine. So see here it is, there are basically two types of heat engine. One is external combustion type of engine and another was internal combustion type of engine. So here it is, in case of external combustion of engine, combustion of fuel which is burned and produces the heat energy takes place outside the cylinder. For example, steam engine. So we know that in case of steam engine, the coal is burnt. Actually heat energy is produced due to the coal, but now that energy actually boils the water. So water compartment is different one, that is a cylinder is different one, and coal is burnt outside the cylinder. So here it is, combustion of fuel takes place outside the cylinder, and then that steam is actually applying pressure on the piston and so on. So that kind of engine is called as external combustion engine. And second type is internal combustion engine, so in which combustion of fuel takes place inside the cylinder. So for example, petrol engine. So inside the block piston, that means inside the cylinder, the fuel along with air is burnt, and now the place fuel is burnt inside the cylinder and that expands and creates a pressure. So here in that case, working substance is air plus small quantity of combustible gas. So generally we are using petrol, and at high temperature it is converted to gas and it burns. So that is what a working substance in internal combustion engine. So remember that in external combustion of fuel is outside the cylinder, and internal combustion it is inside the cylinder. Now we are going to talk about types of internal combustion engine, and that we are going to see in detail. So the basic type of two types of engines we are going to study. That is, one is Otto engine, that is a petrol engine which we are using in vehicles, and another one is diesel engine. So how petrol engine and diesel engine works, that principle and theory we are going to study. So here now we are talking about Otto cycle and its efficiency. We are talking about Otto engine. See, first important thing, that Otto engines are called 4-stroke engines. So we are going to see what is 4 strokes are there in the engine. So now here in the diagram you see the Otto engine. So here you can see, first understand this. This is a cylinder and this is a piston. So gas or working substance is inside this cylinder having certain volume V. Okay. So suppose if we put the working substance here, and when we burn it through plug, it will expand. After burning, it will expand, and due to that the pressure will be applied on this piston and pressure will move in downward direction. Obviously the shaft will move downward direction and it will rotate this wheel. So now from one state to again, after completing a complete cycle, it is coming here. That is basically we are talking about Otto cycle. Now here it is, in case of Otto engine, first thing there it is a piston block or cylinder which has a piston which is connected this way, and here it is one inlet valve I1 and another one is outlet valve. So understand basic concept. First let us consider that this piston is closed, that means it is here somewhere. Okay, so it is completely closed and volume is, say, let us consider 0. Now the inlet valve is open. I am giving you a general idea. Inlet valve is open, and the moment inlet valve is open, the piston is moved in downward direction. So obviously this volume increases, and when this volume increases, air and small quantity of petrol vapors are taken inside the cylinder. So after complete expansion, second stage is done, that the valve is closed. Now this and both valves are closed and fuel is burnt. So due to burning of vapors of petrol vapors, so expansion takes place, and due to that the pressure increases. That is one thing. And the moment pressure increases, so again it will push the piston in downward direction. So this way the process starts. So now we are going to think about the first stroke, that is a charging stroke. As I said, see, we are talking about 4 strokes. So stroke 1 is this, that is a charging stroke. So operation 1. So under charging stroke, operation 1, valve I1 opens, air is taken in, air plus fuel vapor, then piston moves down. Due to its down motion, it is allowed to come inside. So volume increases to VA. So here I have told you, initially piston was closed up to this level, so volume was 0, but as the piston is moved downward direction, the volume increases and it becomes VA. This is a volume VA. Now inside this, air and fuel mixture is there, and this is called as a charging stroke, operation 1, and operation 1 is represented by A0 to A1. Now we are talking about second stroke. Remember, in second stroke there are 2 operations. So here first operation we saw A0 to A, and this is second operation, this is third operation. What exactly it is we are going to see. See, after air and fuel taken in, I1 gets closed and piston moves inward. So as piston is moved inward, volume is now 1/8 of the original volume VA, and due to that, see here it is, due to motion of this piston upward, the volume decreases from VA to this volume, that is a VB. Corresponding volume is VB. Now pressure inside the cylinder is increased. Okay, obviously the temperature also increases, and temperature now, due to increase in pressure, temperature becomes 500 degrees Celsius. So temperature increases from TA to TB, and it is shown by curve AB. That is, piston is moved in upward direction, so volume decreases and pressure increases. Temperature becomes 500 degrees Celsius, and at this moment the electric spark is passed, which burns the pressure inside the cylinder, burns the gas inside the cylinder, and suddenly due to burning the pressure and temperature increases at a constant value. That means all of sudden due to burning pressure increases suddenly and temperature becomes 200 degrees Celsius. So this is third operation. So now in compression or intake stroke there are two operations, that is, one is compressing the fuel by moving piston upward and then igniting the plug. After burning the gas, suddenly pressure increases at constant volume, that is isochoric process, remember. So this is stroke second. So under stroke second we saw two operations, 2 and 3. Now here it is third stroke. So remember it is called as a 4-stroke engine. So we already saw 2 strokes. This is third stroke, that is a working stroke, that is operation 4 and 5. So in working stroke, hot gas pushed pistons outwards. The moment we saw here, the piston was here and the gas was burnt and pressure is suddenly increased. So hot gas pushed the piston. As the valves are closed, the pressure pushes the piston in downward direction, and that is why volume increases and gas expands adiabatically because of no heat is taken inside or given outside. So movement of pistons from this to this, it is a adiabatic process, and volume increases from Vc to Vd. So it is shown here as piston moves outward due to inside pressure of the gas. So here it is, volume increases from C to D, and obviously when volume increases temperature falls, and temperature fall from Tc to Td. Okay, so here this is the operation CD. So operation 4 is from C to D. See, operation 1 is from A0 to A, 2 from A to B, that is volume is decreased. Third operation from B to C, volume is constant but pressure is suddenly increased and temperature is also increased. And during this fourth operation, here due to high pressure, the piston is moved outward and volume decreases to D. So obviously corresponding temperature also falls. Now operation 5, at this state, when here it is that outlet valve is open, made open. So obviously gas and heat, gases and heat both go out from this open valve, and pressure and temperature inside the system decreases. Okay, and here it is shown as the gas goes out. Okay, so pressure, volume is as it is but pressure decreases up to this. Now again it has reached to this point. So piston is now here and gases are sent out. Okay, and thereafter this is stroke D to E. So these are two operations inside working stroke. And now finally here it is, fourth stroke is called as a exhaust stroke. After completing, now the piston is here, and again the piston from here it is pushed back in this direction and brought to Va is equal to, volume is equal to 0. That means again volume decreases. So see, it is happening due to momentum. Piston is pushed inward, remaining part of gas is forced out, and the change in volume occurs isobarically because of pressure is constant, only volume is decreasing, that is called as isobaric, and volume changes from Va to 0, and thus original state is restored and cycle completes. So this is a concept of Otto cycle, and the cycles are repeated again and again, and in this way the motion of piston is up and down, go continuously, which rotates the wheel, and this way the heat generated due to burning of fuel is converted into mechanical motion of the wheel, and this way heat is converted into work done. So this is a concept of Otto engine. Now let us consider efficiency of Otto engine. That means whatever amount of heat produced by fuel, we are going to see whether is it converted 100% in work done or not. That efficiency we are going to see, and we know that there is no ideal heat engine which can convert 100% heat into work. So now efficiency is based on the following assumptions. So when we are talking about auto engine, first, that at every stage change is reversible. So that means as it goes from this, again it can go backward. So every change is reversible, that is first assumption. And second, the mixture of petrol and air vapor behave as a perfect gas. So it obeys all the laws of perfect gas. These are the assumptions. Now here when we are talking about efficiency, so in diagram, process A0A cancels A0. That means as all stages, remember that processes are reversible. So then here it is, when operation A0 to A takes place, similarly A to A0, it cancels each other. Second important thing we saw, Q1 is heat produced, that is BC. So we know that when gas was compressed at volume VB, and the moment that electric spark was provided, due to burning of fuel, heat was generated. That is important thing. So that amount of heat generated is Q1, that is heat produced during this operation PC, and that is why pressure suddenly increase. Second, Q2 is heat transferred to the surrounding, that is DA. So we know that during this operation, the outlet valve was open and the gas and heat energy was forced outside to the surrounding, and so Q2 is heat transfer to the surround. So now whatever amount of heat actually utilized for rotation of the wheel is Q1 minus, that is difference of Q1 and Q2, that is Q1 minus Q2 quantity is actually converted into work done. But we know that efficiency is the ratio of what? Amount of heat provided, that is the total work done, W upon amount of heat provided. So obviously the characterization of engine is that heating takes place at constant volume. So here heating is at constant volume, that we already saw. Now here the quantity of heat produced from B to C that we know or absorbed is Q1, and this process we know that volume is constant, so isochoric state. So here the Q1 is given by M into CV, that is specific heat at constant volume, into difference of temperature Tc minus Tb. And heat transferred to surrounding, again it is a isochoric process, so that heat is given by Q2 is equal to M CV, here it is Td minus Ta. But now we know the efficiency eta is equal to work done upon heat taken inside, total heat. But we know that Q1 is heat taken and Q2 is heat given outside to the surrounding. So difference is W. So Q1 minus Q2 upon Q1 is equal to 1 minus Q2 upon Q1. So we have already Q1 and Q2, putting those values, we get eta is equal to 1 minus Td minus Ta upon Tc minus Tb. This is equation 1. Now the points A and B lie on the same curve. So see here it is, this is A, and on the same curve point B is there. So that is why from this, here you can understand that volume is decreasing and pressure is increasing. So here it is, we have relation Ta Va raised to gamma minus 1. These are adiabatic curve, that means no heat is taken in or given out. And for adiabatic curve we know that relation Ta Va raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to Tb Vb raised to gamma minus 1. So where gamma is nothing but Cp upon Cv, that is specific heat at constant pressure divided by specific heat at constant volume. This is equation 2. Similarly, point D and C lie on same adiabatic curve CD. So for that we have Td into Vd raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to Tc upon Vc raised to gamma minus 1, that is equation 3. But we can see here it is, this is Va, volume at A, The same is volume at D. So VA is equal to VD. Similarly, VB is equal to VC. So obviously, equation 3 can be written as, okay, so TD as it is, but we know VD is equal to VA. So here VA raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to TC. Here it is TC into VC is equal to VB. So VB raised to gamma minus 1, that is equation 4. So now subtracting equation 2 from 4. This is equation 2. We are subtracting it from 4. So we get TD minus TA into VA raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to TC minus TB, VB raised to gamma minus 1. And from this relation we get TD minus TA upon TC minus TB is equal to VB upon VA raised to gamma minus 1. So these things we have got. Now the same can be written as 1 upon rho C raised to gamma minus 1. So the term VA upon VB, where rho C VA upon VB is adiabatic compression ratio, and it is denoted by rho C. So using the equation 1, using this, that is rho C is equal to VA upon VB, equation 1 can be written as, that is, we saw here it is in eta is equal to 1 minus 1 upon rho C raised to gamma minus 1, and this expression actually gives us the efficiency of Otto engine. So now here we can understand efficiency is 1 minus rho C. Remember that rho C is nothing but VA upon VB, and gamma we know that it is the ratio of specific heats. So this is efficiency of Otto engine. Now from this formula it is clear that it depends on compression ratio of the working substance, that is VA and VB. That ratio eta depends on this ratio. And second important thing, efficiency eta is always less than 1. So no 100% efficiency is possible, that we already saw. So this is what efficiency of Carnot engine, Otto engine, sorry. This is efficiency of Otto engine. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.